Welcome to Flying Wheels. My name is Craig from Flying Wheels, and I own a small car dealership in New Hampshire, and I love making YouTube content for you guys to consume. I try to give you the goods, the bads, the uglies, the successes, and the failures. I put it all out there. I am as transparent as can be. If you just watch my Jeep series, you know, like, I don't hide anything. If I make a mistake, it's out there for you guys to see because I want you to learn from them. And today's video is actually a two-part video because I'm buying a Corvette, a blue one, a beautiful blue one. Not this one, a different beautiful blue 2016 Corvette Stingray with 16,000 miles from a friend of mine that knows I love Corvettes. Now, I always talk about marketing myself, right? Everybody knows what I do. Everybody knows who I am. So when they think Corvettes, hey, Craig's into Corvettes. When they think of Jeeps, hey, Craig's into Jeeps. When they think of boats, hey, Craig had a boat problem. He would know. I want to sell this. Let's call Craig. I want to buy this. Let's call Craig. It's all about keeping your name fresh in people's mind, and then they think of me when they know what I'm into. And to be quite honest with you, I buy a lot of cars without having to hunt for them. I used to enjoy the hunt, but now I have people reaching out to me saying, Craig, I have a 2016 Chevy Corvette Stingray, 16,000 miles that's coming in on trade. We don't sell this stuff. Would you be interested in it? That's what this video is about. My friend Doug, if you're watching this, was thinking of me, and I really, really appreciate it. It's a thought that counts, and that was an awesome thought. Craig is into Corvettes. We don't sell Corvettes. If I take this in trade, I'll call Craig in advance and see what he'll give me. That way I can give it to the buyer of his vehicle. So that's what happened. My friend called me and said, Craig, here's the photos. The car is mint. It has a reconstructed title. So I'm explaining in this video today what reconstructed titles are and when and why I am and am not afraid of purchasing them. For example, today's video, I'm not afraid at all. And I'm going to show you the car, and I'm going to show you the title, everything. So my friend calls me, hey, what would you give me for this car? He gives me the VIN, he gives me the mile, he sends me photos. I say, this is what it's worth to me. Perfect. I'm going to work the deal based on you purchasing the Corvette. Great, let's do it. So he does it. He sells his vehicle. He takes the Corvette in trade. I am on my way to go meet him to go buy this Corvette. Like, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Now, this whole video is about reconstructed titles, branded titles, flood damage, salvage titles, and a theft recovery, all that stuff. I'm gonna explain it all to you in this video, but I want you to take a look at this guy right here. This is Melvin Johnson. I'm gonna have a whole second video about this Corvette and Melvin Johnson after this one. Melvin Johnson tried to steal this Corvette right from me, like from my face, out in front of me, blatantly tried to steal this Corvette, and then he ended up scamming me out of a decent amount of cash. And I'm gonna explain all that in video number 2. But Melvin Johnson, who's right here, is gonna be the buyer of this car at the very end of this video. And then in video number 2, he's gonna scam me. So pay attention, because I'm gonna explain that in this video and in the next one too. While we are on the topic of Corvettes, I just bought a new Corvette, 2015 Corvette 2LT, head-up display, navigation, Z51 package, 16,000 miles. Craig, why'd you buy it? Well, my friends at Freedom Cycle thought of me. This is what's fun about marketing yourself appropriately. A friend of mine's a manager at Freedom Cycles in New Hampshire. They were selling a Spider, Can-Am Spider. The buyer has this for trade. They don't sell these. They sell those. So my friend Doug called me and said, Craig, would you be interested in this? Somebody's interested in trading it in. We don't want it, but if you want it, we'll take it in. So we worked out a price together, negotiated it with the seller, and then I came to pick up the car. So we had numbers negotiated already between me and him and the seller, of the owner, original owner, whatever, and I came with my trailer to grab it, all because I marketed myself correctly, and he thought of me. He said, hey, Corvette, Craig, Flying Wheels, let me give him a call. Works out well for everybody. They got to sell a Spider. They got to take in a trade that they didn't have to think about, because I bought it with no headaches, no questions asked, until here's a dilemma. So we talked price, right? We checked it out. Craig, why did you buy this thing so cheap? It still smells like a brand new Corvette. I bought it because it is a reconstructed title. This thing has clean water flood damage from Texas from 2016. So a year old, it was in a flood. I don't really care, because you know what? Everything still works. The AC is cold. Look at how clean this thing is. Everything still works on it. The car is spotless. That doesn't scare me. So I knew, and we negotiated the price accordingly with the seller. He bought it that way. He knew what it was, and they knew what it was, and I knew what it was. So I came here to pick it up. Here's the problem. You all right, Lola? You look like you need some water. It's a hot day. I get the title, and you'll see here it says not actual mileage, rebuilt vehicle, water flood damage. Not actual mileage is a big deal, because this thing only has 17,682 miles, and everything follows, everything tracks. But when somebody registered this, they wrote less miles than what the odometer said. So they wrote like 16,000, not 17,000 miles when the state agency registered it. That tracks over to Carfax and AutoCheck. So AutoCheck and Carfax get a red flag that says, hey, this car has 17,000 miles last month. Now it has 16,000 miles. They red flag it as not actual mileage, and it was registered accordingly. So same things with the state. Like if it said 17,000 and then they registered with 16,000, it red flags. Now it has not actual mileage. So forever, this car has not actual mileage. Like I could sell this to 100 people and tell them, yeah, it was in a flood. It was re-inspected. It was serviced. It was repaired. Everything's good. That was 7 years ago. Still has 17,000 miles on it. It's good to go. But forever now with this car, how many miles does it have? Because the title says not actual. So forever it's gonna say TMU, true mileage unknown, which is way scarier than flood damage. Does this car have 17,000 miles? Or does it have 117,000 miles? Does it have 250,000 miles? You will never, ever know. Now I can track the history on Carfax and AutoCheck and see that everything is accurate. There was like a 1,000 mile discrepancy just from clerical error. But forever, this car is branded. I was gonna run it through the auction, sell it at the auction, but now I have to sell it not only with a reconstructed title, but I have to sell it TMU, which is way scarier. Just me as a buyer. Like if I saw this car at the auction, flood damage, no big deal. 16,000 miles, people have driven it, no big deal, I'll take it. If I see this car at the auction, TMU, way red flags. And we're talking like, I'm probably at like a $10,000 price difference now, which really sucks, and it puts everybody in a bad spot because he didn't know it was TMU. They didn't look at the title. They just knew it had flood damage, reconstructed title. So they got put in a bad spot. I got put in a bad spot because they didn't look at the title. The seller didn't tell them that or whatever. Nobody realized, and now it's on me. So we got to try to buy this thing and sell it for a profit. We'll see. I don't know. Let's load it up and get it back to my shop. Lola, you're not allowed in the Corvette. Now, as you can see, I love Corvettes. I have a 2020 Corvette that you'll probably see in this video. I have the Camaro. I have a bunch of Corvette videos coming up because we're gonna sell the 20 Corvette. If I haven't even shown videos of the Corvette yet, that one's gonna come out next. But this car here has a reconstructed title. What does that mean? Well, this one actually had water damage and the insurance paid out a claim higher than like, I think it's like 30% or higher than 40% of its repaired value. So they just issue a check to the owner and buy the car back. The insurance company buys the car back and then they run it through the auction and they get the remaining balance off the sale of the car through the insurance auction. And then somebody buys it, they reconstruct it, they fix what needs to be fixed according to the insurance specs. What did the insurance say needed to be fixed? They fix that stuff, they get receipts. They bring the vehicle to their state inspection station. Like in our state, it's a trooper. We bring it to the trooper's inspection station. They verify everything's done correctly. They verify we have receipts so they're not all stolen parts. And then they issue a rebranded title or a reconstructed title. So salvage titles are when the car is crashed, the insurance company buys them, the insurance company sends them to the auction. That is a salvage title. Reconstructed or branded title is a repaired title. And a lot of times you'll get a sticker right on the door. So like this doesn't have a reconstructed title, but if it did, you would get a sticker right here that says reconstructed VIN. You're issued a new title. You can register it anywhere in the country. Now, some states require a second inspection, like they'll have to verify the car, they'll verify the VIN, and then you just go register it, just like any other car. And that is why I'm not afraid of buying reconstructed title vehicles. Now, if somebody purchased it and did shoddy work, which I've seen often, oh, this Camaro has a reconstructed title. That's a perfect segue. And I'm not afraid of reconstructed titles because I literally paid 50% of what this car is worth because it has a reconstructed title. Strong engine, good transmission. The only thing is, if you look at this side right here, I'm gonna show you this side, Chevy Camaro right there, right? So my red flag was, why is that Camaro not right here? There's no Camaro logo. And then I noticed there's like a little bit of waviness. Now this line follows right here, but the paint is just not perfect. So I pulled the Carfax, found out that it was hit right here. That's where it was hit. Then I put the VIN into Google and a picture of the car comes up. And you can do that with if that car went through an insurance auction, the insurance company puts photos up for you to bid online and you can see what the condition was. So if you're buying a reconstructed title car, oftentimes you type the VIN in Google and see what it looked like before it was repaired, and then you can make sure that it was repaired correctly. That Camaro was, aside from the Camaro logo missing. Now I did that on that Camaro. Camaro, and I also did it on this Corvette. I Googled the VIN. I couldn't find any damage at the insurance auction. The car looked perfect. And I'm gonna put it up on a lift right now and show you, like, this car is amazing.
I looked at the Corvette. It looks like it's never even seen salt.
It did come from Texas. Let's check this thing out. Now, the thing is, this had flood damage, water damage somewhere. Where? Because it looks like a brand new car underneath still. Where was the line? I see no damage anywhere. There's nothing. A little mark right there. But that has nothing to do with water damage. All right, thank you, Dave. Keep it up real quick. All right, so I have this Corvette up for sale now. I have it all over Marketplace, and to be honest with you, I'm getting hundreds of messages. Why? Because it's an inexpensive, beautiful Stingray. Those cars are well above $50,000 normally, and you can buy this one at a discount because it has a reconstructed title, but the car's still perfect. Like, no one would know if I didn't show them the title. And that's a great way to buy a car that you can't afford at a discount, is buying it with a reconstructed title. That's why I'm not afraid of it. If I find it repaired correctly, I have no problem buying these things. You can even still insure them. Now, the insurance company needs to know that it had a reconstructed title, and you can even insure and finance them. Now, my lender will finance a reconstructed title with no problem. I just have to let them know, and the insurance and the interest rate's typically a little bit higher because of it. And your insurance company will still insure reconstructed titles as well. Sometimes they need to verify the car for itself, like they might have to come out and look at it, inspect it, but they'll insure it as well with no real issues. We have a beautiful C8 Corvette with 3,400 miles, MRR wheels, thanks to Carlos Morales. We have a Borla exhaust, I think, I forget. We have an aftermarket exhaust, full body kit on it. I love this car. I kind of want to sell the Ferrari so I can keep this car. Now, in my video last night, I said 38 grand, 100 grand. I would way rather this for 38 grand over the $100,000 Ferrari. This in the 60s, like 75,000, I'm gonna sell this for, or I'll keep it, which outperforms the Ferrari in every single way. Technology, performance, looks and sound, not so much. Don't mind my gym towel. It was wet and started to stink, so I wanted to air it out. Let's get rid of that. Look at how nice this Corvette is. And then how even nicer this Corvette is. I'm gonna show you a full video on these at a different time. Craig, why are you talking about Corvettes? Haha, I will tell you why I'm talking about Corvettes. We have something fun right under there. What could that be? I told you we were speaking of Corvettes. Look at how wide the tires are on this Z06 right here. Jeez, this is such a beautiful car. Wow. Look what's showing up. Oh, look what's showing up at our shop today. Wow. That Corsa exhaust sounds amazing. Here we go. Check this bad boy out. That Corsa exhaust sounds amazing. Lip looks great. You're all good. You're off. Z06 came and goes just as fast. Sounds good. Car sounds good. All right, enjoy. Yeah, there it is. Wow, that does sound good. I would rather that over Ferrari 100 times out of 100 times.
A few days later.
Been about a week and a half. We have my friend Melvin drove up 6 hours from Rochester, New York to pick up this beauty. And it is on its way. Now here's how we sold it. Because he had a 6-hour drive, I don't want any surprises. I took great photos, and photographs can hide a lot. So I did a very detailed video. I do this for all my cars, especially when people are traveling from far away. 2015 Chevy Corvette Stingray 2LT with Z51 package and 17,000 miles. This is your virtual walk around tour. I'm gonna point out any imperfections, anything I can find, which is minimal, if any. This car is extremely, extremely clean. It does have a reconstructed title from Texas. And I walk around the entire car. I even did the undercarriage because this car had water damage somewhere, and I legit could not find it anywhere. And I'm gonna include it in this video because it blows my mind how clean this car actually is. And there's, I mean, it smells like a new car. And I pointed out any imperfection I could find. Like, there are little things like this or that right there that I pointed out to him in the video. So when he gets here, he knows exactly what it is he's getting. There are no surprises. He goes on his test drive. As long as it drives well, it shifts smoothly. There's nothing I didn't show him. It's his. He knew what it was when he was on his way, and there's nothing out of the ordinary that he would have expected when he gets here, which makes for an easy sale. It makes for a great transaction, and it builds a level of trust for people. So now Melvin gets to take his car back to Rochester with no surprises and enjoy it. And there's no headaches, no negotiations after the fact because, hey, you didn't tell me about this, hey, you didn't tell me about that. It just makes everything simple. Like, being upfront and transparent is if you're that way up front at the beginning, it makes everything easier on the back end. So we're gonna see if we can get this thing on the U-Haul trailer, and that can go back up, and that can head its way up to New York. So here's the other thing too, like it had water damage somewhere. I could not find water damage, and you could be concerned with title history, you could be concerned with water damage. It can affect a lot of electronics. You really don't know what you're getting. So I handpicked this car when I bought it, and you had just said something.
You said water damage, like a lot of dealers said, oh, it's water damage. You were straight everything you said. It's like brand new, smell brand new, drive brand new. Okay, and I'm telling you, I was typical. I drove 6 hours, you know, it was on the back of my head. Let me tell you something. I will be buying another car from you. I will be sending you customers. This ain't, you know, I'm not saying just to be saying, I'm saying it from my heart. You're a good person, you're fair, you're honest. You can't get no honest than you is. Okay, if a person got to drive 6 hours, okay, you treat like family. Not, since I met you, treat me like family. You wasn't like a negative, everything was positive. You know what I'm trying to say?
I owe a lot of that to Lauren over there too. She took care of most of it.
You made me feel good. You know, you made me feel good. I'm going home good, okay? Soon as I get home, I'm taking your car. Guess what? I'm gonna be your salesman up north.
So he's part of a Corvette club, and Corvette guys talk to each other.
So
if you treat one Corvette guy right, they spread the word to everybody, which is really helpful. That isn't why I turned my camera on, for you to say what you just said. That's an incredible review. So thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. All right, let's get this thing loaded up. Enough with the camera. And just like that, she's gone. Goodbye, Corvette. That I actually drove for a couple days and really thoroughly enjoyed. Like that C8 is a sports. That's like a supercar. It feels like that was just a classy, comfortable Corvette that I really, really enjoyed driving. I actually chose that car over that one multiple times. Now, I ship nationwide. This isn't a commercial for Flying Wheels. I ship nationwide. I advertise nationwide. That's the reason for everything that guy said. He checks our reviews. He sees us on YouTube. They know us. They feel comfortable. Like, I ship stuff all over the country, sight unseen, because you know what you're gonna get, which is really helpful. And I listed that thing on Facebook Marketplace. I had to have had, I'll screen record it and show it to you right now while I'm talking. This many messages about this Corvette, and so many negative comments from haters saying, oh yeah, good luck in 2 years, good luck in 3 years. Oh, wouldn't pay half that for whatever title. Blah, like there's a million know-it-alls on the internet that will just shoot you down, that probably don't own a Corvette, mind you, that will tell you you're wrong, your price is high or whatever. Ignore them, because there are people out there that are decent as well, that will appreciate it and enjoy the car and know they got a great price, because you're not going to find that car for the price I sold it to them with a clean title. And that is a near perfect car. So now we got to get on to the C8 and start detailing this, because that lived on a farm and is filthy and, you know, whatever. Well, that's a whole nother video. I want you to remember this guy, Melvin Johnson. All right, this guy is scamming me in video number 2, and I'm gonna explain it all to you and how he tried to steal this Corvette in video number 2. If you like this video, please actually like it down below, because it helps boost the algorithm. If you hit the bell, you'll get notifications, so you'll know when the next video about him scamming me comes out. And then subscribe, because we're always making fun car content. I'll see you all later. Thanks for watching. Adios.